Good evening, everyone. My name is Warren Pritzker Vanderbilt McDuck Buffett, and I am the CEO of Mad Money Financial, which is a subsidiary of Meta World Luxury. I've noticed and I've purchased some ad time at the start of the Bobby Legs live stream to present to you the latest in our sort of concierge service that I found that we've been lacking on this live stream. I found that we haven't been talking enough about buying watches for investments. Right now, what we're offering is concierge service and providing advice about buying watches for investments and getting a rate of return. I know that there have been some members on this chat that have been looking for investment advisors within the watch community. I thought we'd throw our hat in the ring. I don't, as you know, I don't do shit for free. But in the interest of promoting this new service, I will do my first watch buying tip for free. I'm going to go over a really, really hot watch buying tip today. So guys, come in. All right. So I'm just going to whisper. All right. Have you guys heard of this brand? It's called Brew Watches. Okay. So I just want to tell you about this new release that's really hot called Brew Watches. All right. So here, I'm just going to give you an example of the kind of cutting edge financial breakdown that I'm going to give for every single watch that will advise you to buy. All right. So let's go look at this Brew watch. It's called the Brew Metro. All right. So I've got here. So we've got the Brew Metro. The price, $395. All right. But let's, as with anything financial, we always have to look at the fundamentals. It's fundamentals. All right. So the most important thing we always look at with stocks, we always talk about price to earnings index. But here we're going to talk about price to value index. All right. So what is the price to value ratio of the Brew Metro? And the price to value index, the quality ratio is shit. All right. So, but why am I recommending this watch? All right. So there's a lot. You can't just look at P to Q ratio anymore. You have to look at other variables in this investment assessment. All right. So we've got, do we have immoral paid D-list influencers supporting the watch? Yes, we do. All right. Is there customer stupidity and gullibility? Yes, there is. And finally, do we have overall industry greed? Yes, we do. So if you look at this chart, we've got lack of ethics, we've got greed, we've got a shitter, and we've got falling intelligence. And because of that, we've got the perfect confluence of buying. And so that's why, you should be buying the Brew Metro, because it's going to shoot to the moon. And that's the kind of cutting edge analysis that Mad Money Financial, which is in no way related to Jim Cramer, MSNBC, or Mad Money, will offer you if you hire us to advise you on your next watch purchase. So with that, I'm going to turn it. I guess that's the end of our ad time. So I'm going to hand it over back to Bobby Legs.
Sign me up.
Very compelling pitch.
Hey guys, welcome to another Tuesday Night Watch Talk at the Bobby Legs Shadow. Glad you guys are joining us. Thank you, Mad Money Financial, for that very interesting infomercial at the beginning of the broadcast tonight. Let's start off with Colin. Colin, how you doing, man? What's going on?
Where am I? I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, good. We got our dueling hockey jersey sweatshirts on, right, man? What do you got? What do you got on?
Race to the bottom for my team right now.
Right. What do you got on wrist tonight?
I'm waiting for the ping pong balls. I'm wearing an overseas today.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, love it. Amin, my friend, how are you?
Rob, doing well. We're in Portugueser today.
Very nice.
Get my sleeve out of the way.
Yeah. Very
nice. Thinking about buying a brew after that.
Yeah.
Wonderful presentation.
Mad Money Financial,
Junction
Marcus.
of spheres.
Yeah. How are you? Well, we know how you're doing. What do you got on wrist tonight?
I got the PAM.
The PAM. And of course, no surprise here, got the Yebby right here wearing it tonight. And we got some interesting things to talk about tonight. Let's say hello to the crowd first, as we usually do. And crowd, and chat, if you have any suggestions for a topic tonight, that'd be very, very helpful. Um, let's say hello to some folks here. Neff is here. How you doing? Dan is here. Hey, Rob over at Mountain Standard Time. What is going on? B-Dev is here wearing the Scrufa Bell diver. Marcel is here. Hey, Marcel, wearing my UN diver tonight. Very, very nice. Bill K is here. Chaz is here. And he is wearing his SLA 021 in honor of the newest little engineer wannabe. That's right. Sanjay, the birth of his daughter, I believe it was yesterday. Congratulations, Sanjay and family. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm sure everybody is. And looking forward to the new watch to celebrate that moment. Paul is here. How you doing?
Can we take
Bigfoot.
a minute? Just I didn't want to post anything snarky here, but on the Instagram, welcome to the world, baby Emily. She's of course adorable, and we're so happy for his family. But the next part, maybe this zenith will be yours.
Yeah.
Chance of that?
That
That's so
Zenith
good.
isn't going to last until she's done her childhood vaccinations.
I forget who said it. I was joking around before the streams. Somebody said that that maybe it'll be yours if she buys it from the watch box someday. if she tracks down
Track down my
Daddy's
dad's old
watch.
watch.
tracks
Yeah.
down the watch my dad was wearing when I was born.
Yeah.
I'll probably buy it and I'll resell it to her in maybe like 20 years.
That wasn't an Instagram post where I could write something snarky. You know what I mean? You got to keep it congratulatory, but
Yeah.
oh man, zero chance.
I really do love that watch, though. I hope he keeps that. I think it fits him perfect.
Oh yeah.
Happy Lunar New Year to you too, James. Wilson's here. Hey, Joey B's here. Underachieving watch collector, Year of the Tiger roars in. Ooh, that I just said that. I just came so naturally out of my mouth. The Year of the Tiger roars into this year. Wow.
Look out, Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, right. Justin, well, hey there, sir. Tim, how you doing? Good to see you. That's here. Danny's here. Ep is here. Caliber is here. Justin, new Nomos commercial dropping. Okay. AZ Clayton, I'm not interested unless I see 35% ROI.
Can we
Those are getting
appreciate that
50%.
video?
Yeah, I mean, he's just been. We're talking about Archie Luxury. If you guys haven't seen it,
Oh,
he was he did a video, a review of the real watches in
Cars in
Chrono,
Chrono.
Real cars in Chrono.
Chrono, and apparently he took a meeting with him, right? And as an investor, and the guy wanted 35% ROI. Anyway, so Archie reviews his collection, gives him the royal treatment from Archie. It's just one of the better outbursts I've seen in a while. It's up there with that guy with the Bremonts. It's up there with that one.
It was a good video.
Yeah. What watches? Funny. Stonks. Yeah, stonks. Let's see here. A lot of poo knives. A lot of poo knives here. Hey, Kevin, what's going on?
Poop.
Yeah. Deech is here. Brownie, what's going on? Take my money now, he says. Fast Long saying, yay, charts. And the Oscar goes to, it goes to Marcus. Pierre, hilarious. Danny likes what he sees. These are life lessons. Neff, thank you, Neff. Hey, Sam, all the way from Australia. What's up? How you doing? A lot of support here for the cold open for Marcus.
It's a compelling package, no doubt.
What is Bobby saying here? In typical Washington football, diligence leaks the new team is out with the team name is out from
that's the
banners
new
in the
logo.
stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Commanders. Okay. Yeah, as a Washington fan, it's not my favorite name that's been floated out there, but they're more worse, I guess.
I actually like Washington football team, to tell you the truth. I
Me,
think it's
I think
quirky and fun,
it.
honestly. Like,
I'm into it. I'm like used to it.
Yeah.
I wish they kind of kept it. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, what's up, Nerio? What's up, dudes? Time Hill Go Bengals. Yeah. So Time Hill, I think you're from near that area, right? I have a couple friends. I know more Bengal fans than I think most normal people know outside of Ohio.
They're all
You
coming
know?
out of the
Don't worry,
woodwork, aren't they?
Yeah.
there aren't any real Rams fans. They're just all bandwagoners.
Yeah.
Those guys
Cheering-
don't deserve a football team.
Cheering for Stafford. That's
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Yeah. Did Marcus Start have an anus in the middle?
Might have.
Craig G still wearing that Tudor Pepsi. Excellent. Jeffrey O'Neill, hello from Perth, wearing my Zen U50 mother of pearl per usual. Scatterbrains here. What's going on? Got a nice lot of participation here in the chat. It's awesome. Nerio's wearing his Mayor G-Shock. Very good. Where Brandon Rom's wearing my new Brute 8-bit. Very good. Very
Did
good.
Rob miss the very beginning, or is
I'm sure he saw
he
it.
actually wearing it?
I'm sure he saw it. Roar the Tiger is here. What is going on? How are you, sir? Mez9 is here. Okay, so the chat is very, very active. Also, I really, really appreciate it. Oh, good evening to Black Bay Explorer from Bari. Is it Bari?
Barry.
Barry, Ontario.
Yes.
Congrats, Sanjay.
King of Canada should
King
know
of
that.
Canada. Oh man.
Yeah, look, it's tough. It's tough to be the King of Canada.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a lot to know.
There's a lot to know. There's
Yeah.
this. I got 35 million subjects.
Mm-hmm.
I can't keep up with all of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so guys, a couple of watches have entered into the collections of some of our friends, and I just wanted to showcase a couple of them for you here tonight. Let's start off with the big boy here, our buddy Rick, picking up the Google 4C Tourbillon 24 seconds.
24-second tourbillon. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing watch. Congratulations, Rick. Well done. What do you guys think of this one?
It's decent.
Google Force is an awesome brand, so I hope Rick enjoys his watch.
Yeah. Very, very well done.
Yeah,
It's an incredible pickup.
Yeah.
GPHG winner, right?
It
From
is.
what? What year? 15?
2000? Yes, 15.
Now they don't make Google Force doesn't make many watches per year, right? I mean, we're
Like
talking
100, 120.
Yeah.
Yeah. And surely not to be outdone, but
Yeah, let's follow the Grubel.
follow Grubel, and that is Joey B picked up a Nomus.
That was intentional.
That
was a great segue.
Way to go, Joey.
I had to look it up. The Club Automat Datum 774. Hey, look, he got a good deal, right? I mean, he picked it up on, I think it was on
I
eBay.
like this watch. Gotta say, this is one of the better Nomos to me.
I don't hate it.
I would agree to it. Yeah.
It is
I
one of the
agree.
better Nomos.
Yeah. Good for you, Joey. I always approve of a German watch entering the collection. Very well done. You could have done worse, for sure.
You did him dirty for sure.
You did.
Who? Who, me? No, not as dirty. Not as dirty as like the last time I did this, and his watch followed up
Steve
Time Hill's datograph.
Yeah, that's twice in a row you did him dirty.
Yeah,
I like that.
What was that again? Time Hill had the datograph, and then you put up Joey. What was Joey's watch after that?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at that point. Like nobody remembers, who.
That's a great tradition.
Nobody remembers who lost the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
So
I like it.
Okay, let's see here. Let's see what the chat says. That's the most perfect watch I've ever seen. Yeah, the Nomos or the GF. I think he's meant to GF. Though Nilo says, "Wow." Bobby likes. Look, Joe. I mean, you knew it was coming, right? I mean,
He had to.
Yeah. Cool Nomos indeed. Why is Nomos looked down upon? Don't know much about him. Marcus,
Ugh,
what are your thoughts on Nomos? And
ugh, I
Paul
can't
doesn't know
even.
anything. Yeah.
Paul, we'll sidebar later.
Okay. Okay.
I don't
Um.
have it in me today.
Previous returns are not indicative of future performance, so
Yeah.
you can't disclose it on here.
Yeah. So chat, if you guys have any thoughts on any kind of topics to talk about, we would be more than happy to take them on. We're a little light on topics tonight, but we always make sure that we come through somehow with some good talk. Amin, earlier you and I were talking about how luxury prices, luxury watch prices, just keep on going up. Rolex aside, right? We all know the issues with Rolex, but it seems to be whatever is happening with Rolex or has happened with Rolex is bleeding over to other brands, and where for some brands now we have to jump through hoops, right, to get through a watch and go on lists and wait. Um, you know, um, long periods of time just to be able to pick up watch. Why has that been in your thoughts lately? I mean, you've been thinking about this, right? I mean, I guess we all have been as watchers of what's going on with the luxury watch market. Um,
Yeah, it's just there's more and more watches that come out or we text each other about that we're excited about that you have to jump on right
mhm,
away. It seems like every week there's another example. Like even that Ophion that just came out. I mean, Ophion's been coming out with I don't know, did it sell out right away? I didn't even
Yeah,
pay attention.
I
yeah.
Yeah.
think so.
I mean, Ophion's been coming out with batches of watches like 50 at a time for a while now. I don't think any of them were hard to get. They have some on their site right now that are like in stock, which is unusual for them. Um,
Hmm.
but that this one, went immediately. It's just
It
I
was
don't mind it.
marketed. It was
I don't
marketed this time.
yeah. I don't mind this phenomenon because there's enough watches I like that I can get some of the ones that I really like and other ones I can't. Like for example, the Ketelars, I got in on time. Now it's kind of hard to get in on time, right?
Hmm.
So I'll get some, I won't get some. I'm good with that. But yeah, it's kind of connected with I mentioned like Pete from Not So Obvious Watches did this video about how lower price watches are selling in lower and lower volume as the years go by, and
Hmm.
higher price watches are selling in greater volume. They're more desirable. He was talking about why it makes sense for companies like to go up market, like Grand Seiko. Um, but at the same time that these companies are raising their prices, going up market. Their desirable models are selling out fast, and the supply's not there. So I don't know. Um, I feel like people who aren't into watches like we are, um, probably are mystified
Mhm,
by this. Like
mhm.
my brother wants to buy a date just for his wife for their anniversary, and you know, I think he's like this idea that don't waste your time coming to the store. We'll let you know if you
Hmm.
know we'll talk to you is kind of like strange to him. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean for sure. I mean, I think that that's also true with a lot of luxury products outside of wristwatches too. I think that's what's going on. Um, with independents, I mean, like, that because their batches are so small and the focus has been switched over to them because nobody can get some of these higher end pieces like Rolex and whatnot. You know, it's becoming very difficult to get one of theirs. Like for example, it's nothing. This is an independent or small watch company out of Germany. Dornbluten's on, right? That's not. I mean, they're make some great looking watches, but it takes you a year to get a watch from them after deposit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Hmm.
so, last year it was maybe like 6 months, 6 or 7 months, and so like I think like a lot of the shift it's just you're just shifting around people, right? I mean, like the people who may have found wanted to wait for a Rolex There's a certain population that are going to wait for it, but then there's another population that are just going to move on and try to buy something else. And then I think there's a whole lot of that going on, you know.
The other thing Pete said that was interesting is that it's nothing to do with a shortage, supply chain issues. That it's not
Mhm.
like there's a component that's hard to get in manufacturing. It's just that overall, really expensive watches demand is way up.
Yeah,
It is for sure.
yeah, and
I
I
think
think
the
it's
brands are
yeah. Go ahead.
the brands are being
Marcus.
more responsible with their distribution networks, probably.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's that, and there's a lot of people who've been sitting on the sidelines with their money for the last year or two, and they're starting to, you know, they have an issue. I mean, they can't travel anywhere, right? So they want to buy something that's going to make them feel good, you know, and I get that. And then I think, you know, some of those are buying. Some of those people are buying watches, you know.
Yeah, there's also, I mean, the inflation in Bitcoin and
Mhm.
cryptocurrencies. I mean, a lot of those guys are flush with cash, and they're just
Yeah,
like, hey, what do I do with this? I'm gonna
right.
buy something to celebrate my, good fortune here. Also, a lot of people who bought into Rolex, like who are actual watch enthusiasts, but maybe bought into Rolex, now they're seeing their watches worth 2, 3 times, and they're like, well, geez, now I can buy that really, funky work that I've had my eye on,
Right,
and I was never willing to shell out 60 grand for it, but it's
right.
really like I'm only shelling out 12 grand because I just sold my Daytona, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
Or they're cutting down, or brands are cutting down, like Elongazon are cutting down production, right?
mhm.
And so and you know, Archie was brought up a good point about this with Hermes, right? Hermes had figured out that instead of like making more and selling them, they make less and create a FOMO, right? Where people
Mhm.
are just
Yeah.
willing to spend ridiculous amount of money to get this piece of luxury good, show me, and so there's competition for that, you know. And I think a lot of brands are thinking that way now, right? Because Pete is right. There is no, I don't, in watchmaking, I don't think there's no supply issue. Um, so
That's that's
it's just
that's absolutely what's going on with the Laureato right now.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I think there's also some like price manipulation in the secondary market with the
Mhm.
Laureato, but you can see that's already started to happen.
Yeah, the Laureano though, like it never got in comparison with other models from Girard Perregaux. It never took that dip in the secondary market. I've been watching Laureato prices for a couple years now because I do like that watch, and at one point was like obsessed with, like, you know, adding one to the collection. I may add one a day, but now those I'm not seeing prices that I saw last year in the secondary market. They're inching up now.
They're
They're
not
up.
even inching
They're
up.
up.
They're just
They're
Yeah.
up
way up. And
50+%
yeah, and
from a year ago.
that's not even the year ago. You're talking
Yeah,
about probably the last quarter, if
couple months.
less.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
less. And people looking to buy new aren't even or have to wait a couple of weeks, if not more.
Yeah. Yeah. Very,
Right.
very
So
interesting. Let's see what the chat's got to say. Um, hey, Sanjay's here. Hey guys, I'm late.
Congrats, Sanjay.
Hope you are well.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us, Sanjay. And you got a beautiful baby daughter. And congratulations to Miss Sanjay too, who did all the hard work, I would imagine. Um, it just well, I mean, he didn't give birth. I mean, you know what I mean? He just like
Yeah.
took a picture with his watch. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, wait. Don't do it yet. Hold on.
Yeah.
Don't push it.
Rick is saying it just keeps getting worse. Longer wait times and bigger pre-owned premiums. Yeah.
Mhm.
You see Boris Pianik say these days,
Yeah.
some of the independents he's selling 6-7 year waits. Was that a joke, or do you think he's
No.
actually really?
Well, like
no,
he
that,
sells. Go ahead, Marcus.
I think that's what you're waiting for an RR, right? Like at this point.
He sells
Oh,
Moritz
Yuji.
Grossman too. So Grossman. So
He sells
Yeah.
Florent Lecomte as well, which I mean he only makes a dozen watches every 3 years, but he's
Andreas
yeah,
Streller makes super low volume
yeah,
watches too.
it's a lot of really low volume stuff. But it used to be where they would be making these watches without buyers, really, and now it's people are just lined up.
Hmm.
Geez,
Yeah.
6-7 years. Why?
You can, you
I
can,
would
you can.
never do that. I don't
Yeah,
care who's making my watch.
yeah. 1 year was bad enough for you. It still was
I would
more than
never
1
do
year, right?
6-7 years.
It might be though. It might be
I
for
feel
you.
like that's you got to really be dedicated. I guess if you have enough irons in the fire. If you've got like one, Roger Smith's coming up in 3 years and
Yeah.
Acrivia's coming up in 4 years and you
Yeah.
got them lined up, right?
Can you even
Then
get a Regepi? You said ours. Were you talking about Regepi with
Yeah.
RR?
Yeah. That's like 6 years.
Is it?
Like
I'm
that's
gonna
well,
I'm gonna
that's
message him. You kidding me?
because like
That's it?
because Acrivia is longer, right? So, sorry,
it's like
Acrivia even harder to get.
Oh, I thought that
And
it
that's
was
the
like
that's
basically like don't even call me. I thought it was like
I
we're
think
like
it's 6
booked out
years
for
if you're
20
not on the
years.
don't even call me
Yeah.
category.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
You have to be you have to be able to call them first, and then
Okay.
because
gonna
the
say.
RRs are they're even more limited than the
Yeah.
the Acrivias.
I could start saving for 7 years.
I mean, like, if you're looking at a small initial deposit, right? Like maybe 20, 30%, right?
So like 30
Now.
grand.
Oh, well, okay. I didn't realize. Okay. Yeah. So no, that's terrible. 10%. 6,
I'm
7
not
years from
sure
now.
if they'd take a deposit if they're that far out, but that'd be interesting.
Pierre saying 12 months for a Dornbluth made T9 order. Get it in May, but I'm getting one.
Oh, that's a great watch.
I don't know that one.
Howard says Boris is an impeccable person. I accept what he says at face value. I'm not questioning his
Oh, no, I
ethics. I
believe him.
just didn't know if he was joking or if he was making a joke or if he meant
Yeah.
that.
I really do think it could change quickly, though, especially if these are refundable deposits or if they aren't taking actual deposits.
Mm.
If the market turns, you're going to find a lot of people who are going to pile back into mainstream brands.
Mm.
A lot of people feel comfortable about it because they can buy a Chapek right now and put it on Chrono 24 for 20 grand more than they paid.
Yeah. And for me, that's what makes Omega a little bit more appealing these days. Because I know that I can probably get any Omega I want at an AD, maybe get a
Mhm.
little bit of a discount. I know I'm not going to get one in the boutique, but maybe I can get a little bit of discount depending on which model. And great watch, right? Great watch. If I can, combine the occasional Omega with a watch that will take a year to make, it's not so bad. It's not so bad to juggle that around, I don't think. And I can still
Yeah.
get my fix, William saying the standard Dorn Blue 42 wears too large. Absolutely agree. I've tried one on. The 40 is what I would go with, and those are around 11 to 12 months wait, according to the Watch Buys website. So, more so saying if 30% of the people who want a Rolex decide to go to other brands, it's going to drive up demand for all other brands. Yeah,
It's like millions of people.
Yeah.
30%.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's probably even more than 30%, right? I've been saying, unfortunately, demand is way up, and watches are an investment vehicle for
Yep.
non-watch people.
Absolutely.
Doesn't help that crypto's in the toilet right now. That's true. And
It
the
is.
uncertainty of regulation here in the States. Yeah.
There's a lot of people who made a lot of money over the last year or two.
There is. Yeah, man. Man, I'm an idiot. I wish I was in it a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Yeah.
Joe saying one of the nice things about Bitcoin, you can use Bitcoin to buy a watch instead of cashing out and paying capital gains. Yeah, that's awesome. Places like David SW, they'll take Bitcoin and then you park your money there on
Yeah.
on your Rolex or whatever. And if you want to sell,
There's a lot of that going on.
there's a lot of that going. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Hey, Hobby Bobby, NYC Watch Guy recently talked about the crypto impact on supply during the Worn and Wound podcast. I'm guessing that's what W&W
Yeah.
means. He said something like 90% of his friends with watches have only become interested in the last year, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's part of that is also, okay, now I have all this money. What can I get into, right? And some people will get into cars, but cars are way too expensive now, right? So they'll get into watches or something else. And then there's part of it where people are just looking to park some money.
Yeah.
Marcel Ritar is saying, I think the crypto millionaires are the ones driving up the price of the RM and AP and all the other super hyped up brands. Yeah, I mean, good
Sure.
point. RM definitely makes sense, you know.
I'd
100
YOLO in RM if I made millions in crypto.
You'd have like one in each and one in each
Yeah,
wrist, right?
man.
Hey, Rob is a Rolex fan and Archie fan now. I've been going way too long. Penny, you have been. Rick saying GP and UN are possibly risky moves. What convinces us they are better off as a leveraged company
Mhm.
run by management without resources of a big parent company?
Rick missed the opening thing. It doesn't matter. It's all about the hype.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, time will tell, right? With GP and UN, I think they're probably going to fall flat on their faces again. But
Yeah. It's like they're going to sell it back to the management team that didn't know how to market them in the first place. Why
Right.
even trust them?
Right, exactly, exactly. It's almost like, oh man, at this point, like I wish like somebody like the Swatch Group or Richemont swoops in and just like salvages whatever they can with a GP.
I
Or
hate to
UN.
say this, but TPG has done more for GP than they've ever done for themselves just in the past couple
No,
months. No joke.
Brands are also including that desirability in their goals, targeting brand equity, but it's all nonsense BS. Man, I'm way behind on the comments, guys.
We should go to new releases or something.
Yeah, no problem. Sounds good, Marcus. Yes, sir. Speaking of UN,
They had a really cool release.
yeah.
Mhm.
The Ulysse Nardine Blast Moonstruck in a modern take of, I don't know, how do you say that? Oshland's Genius Vision. Amin,
I don't know how it works, but I love it. I love the way it looks. It looks really cool. I wouldn't buy it with my own money, but I just love the way it looks.
It does look cool.
I mean, you're our in-house UN guy. What do you think about this one?
I didn't read about how it works exactly either, but I love it too. I'm pretty sure that, well, yeah, I didn't really read up on it. That is that a moon phase orbiting around the dial?
Yeah, I think it's a moon phase and it's a time and tide.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, it's a tide and it's a GMT as well.
And a world time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I tend to skip to the price on watches like this, and if it's like completely
It's
absurd,
$85,000.
then I don't really read the article. But but I still love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
that's got to be like 20 grand before I buy it.
I think it's at 75, right?
Yeah, it's like 75 or 80. I can't remember.
I know it's worth more for sure, but it's like,
yeah,
super toxic.
Okay.
Beautiful, but yeah, tough.
Speaking of Ophion, we mentioned it earlier. It is a pretty good looking watch, isn't it? I mean, I do like it. Not crazy about the Soprod branded movement.
I'd buy this over the Ming Soprod though. I think the dial's more interesting.
Absolutely, yeah.
The case seems to fit the movement better. Like it doesn't look super undersized. the dial's cool. The case shape is cool. It's it's got that Kari Voutilainen kind of look to it.
It's a Kari case, isn't it? Or
Yeah,
something?
it is a Kari case. And I think it looks good in the case back. The movement looks good in the case back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I really do. I'm not a big fan of these horned lugs, but it works for me with this watch.
I also think that this same movement architecture with the hammered finish on some of their other models looks ugly, and that this looks way better than that. So I hope they do the movement like this for other models, because I usually like their dials. I just didn't like the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3250, only 40 made. I mean, this is good looking watch. This is a good looking watch. Geez, yeah.
It's a very good looking watch, and
Yeah.
I said this somewhere else, but I feel like it's a rich guy's Baltic. Sorry.
Right.
I feel like it's a good looking watch, but there's not a whole lot of substance there.
Mm-hmm.
Just my opinion.
No, I hear you. Okay. One of Joe's favorite brands, Oxen Jr. An interesting. This is a 12-hour, right? This is like a GMT,
Yeah.
sort of. An interesting
It is a
interpretation on the way to do
GMT.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even realize they were making other watches, and just today I went to their website and started looking around, and they got some cool little watches for like $2-3 grand.
Yeah.
And you can still get them. Small independent where you can still get a watch.
I'll say this: I respect the heck out of Ludwig Oxman, but I think that when you apply his take on simplicity to the entire watch as opposed to sort of the movement, it kind of falls flat for me. Like they start looking, it's almost too oversimplified. It's almost too Spartan in their design language. So for me, this is not like, it's not appealing to me. I like I like the idea of how he did the GMT, his take on the GMT, but the rest of the execution kind of falls flat for me on this one.
Yeah, Colin is a savage. Yeah, you're right, Kevin.
Calls them like I sees them.
Colin crushing dreams again. Dual time, yep. No on the GMT. Yeah, it's an ETA based modified automatic. 48.2 second time zone disc. Okay. Oxen Jr. has best use of discs.
I don't know why I find that so funny.
I almost thought the word wasn't discs for a second there. I thought maybe Oil Money had changed his username. Easy Clean. So that is a day complication without a midnight advance wheel. Yeah. I'm with Marcus. I'm a little confused by it. Are we in the Bauhaus Sven? Very Bauhaus and boring.
Yeah.
K-Joy saying, "Hang on to that El Primero engineer wannabe." we're still pleading.
Yeah.
Pleading. Everybody's pleading.
No, Sanjay, we're just saying it's more likely to make it to your daughter when she's grown up if you sell it to me now. It's definitely much more likely.
Keep it in the country at least.
Yeah. Otherwise, she'll be paying some crazy premium on Watchbox.
Kevin said if he wanted boring, he would just go with Nomos. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, what word did I think of? It starts with D and has a K in it and an S. Like discs. That's what I thought. Sanjay thinks that's funny. You think Colin's a savage? Talk to him about grinding your coffee at a supermarket.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man.
That's a good take. Who are you? I don't even know who that is. Someone's watching for a long time in the shadows.
Not desks, not ducks. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, so not much else going on here. We can try Hodinky and see if there's
Talk
anything
about
here.
watch books or. Oh, can we talk about this Pages? I don't even know how to say it, but I
Where is it?
love right up a little Spanish
This one?
watchmaker bringing back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
just
looks, it looks pretty cool, right? Yeah,
it is. It's like $85,000,
of course. Yeah,
but
there he is. All right.
just gorgeously finished, and I love the colors that he chose. And yeah,
Yeah.
It's a
I just
beautiful
want to look
movement.
at it. Yeah, beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he only makes a couple watches a year, honestly.
That's another one. I
I don't
went
know.
down, didn't see a price, was like, this thing is outrageous money.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Justin
I
St.
mean,
Con is. Oh, go ahead, Marcus.
but I mean, it's this is the first time that it's like a completely handmade the 10 escapement, right? So it's
Hmm.
there is some tech and spec in it. This is as interesting as like a Peterman Badat.
Yep.
That's Brevet Nodo. That's the kind of pricing you're getting into when you're getting into this, and you're talking about like a three hand. Even though it is a bit of a novel take on a lever escapement, it's I don't think it's as interesting as some of the other stuff that you can get at 70 or 80 grand.
Yeah.
Con is prudish when it comes to public grinding, Justin says.
Not prudish. Why would you do it?
Not 85K cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Rick there. That's so
Mhm.
Mad Money Financial says
Yeah.
not a buy at 85 grand.
Sell.
Time Hill saying Sanjay sold his white birch, still upset about it. Therapist says I should be okay eventually.
So can I do a quick screen share here?
Yeah, absolutely.
This I want to find. Speaking of Daytona escapements, so I'm wondering if it's possible to find this Urban Jorgensen at a post toxic price. It has it has the P8 movement with a Daytona escapement. I think it's gorgeous. I feel like Urban Jorgensen is toxic, and maybe you could get into something like this. What do you think? I have no
How
idea
much
about
is
pricing.
that?
I don't know. I don't
That's
know what secondary
probably
pricing is.
50-ish new, I'm guessing.
This was like a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just. It's probably crazy money, isn't it?
I bet you this is something that when Kari relaunches the brand in 2023, this is they're gonna do something with this.
Because you can get a watch very similar to this with the P4 movement, which is a lever escapement for 50, maybe
20s.
like 20, right?
Yeah.
So with this movement, is it 30? Is it 50? Is it
Yeah, I don't. It's not a huge market, especially the used market on these.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful, and it was one of the first to have a Daytona escapement in a wristwatch.
Well, I think it was the first. I think. Or,
Was it?
Well, Urban Jorgensen was the first to put it. I don't know whether it's this specific DJ, but they were the first ones.
What a beauty!
But it seems like he's got that in the war chest when he wants to release it. He just needs to sort of spruce it up a bit.
So so speaking of toxicity, right?
Yeah.
What brand or brands do we think has the most upside, right? Where the toxicity and price, the Sabbath Pluto line is more advantageous to a purchase. Like what high horological brand takes such a beating, right? And and Parmesan is too easy of an answer, right?
Yeah.
But what brand can you get at such a great price now, right? That there's only one way to go, right? And it's up. after.
Not that many with good pricing right now, but
Yeah, I don't think there's anything super toxic right now.
Horology up or value up?
Value up. No, no.
Like resale?
So you, for example, you can get some Tondas now, right, to close to $5,000.
Yeah.
It's not going to be. That's not going to last too much longer. I feel, right. Maybe Parmigiani has a slower curve up than some other brands, right? Right. In regards to value, and then what we can sell that watch maybe from 5 years from now, what it's going to be worth. But you brought up Erwin Jurgensen, right? You know, Pre-Milan Moser, like what watches, when they get down, beaten down so much that it's just so worth taking a shot because there's a potential upside.
are
If
you
you,
talking modern, like nothing like vintage,
yeah,
right?
I'm
Like
talking
nothing like from the 90s
no,
or
no, 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 no,
2000s.
no.
Okay.
I think Paul is right. Paul PB says
Breguet.
Breguet.
Maybe.
And especially like I feel like Breguet is a company where you go into the store and you think, if I offer them this, there's no way they'll take it. And it seems like maybe they will take it. You know, it's like sometimes when you throw in what you think is a lowball offer and you think there's no chance. I feel like I keep hearing stories about people doing that with Breguet and it being accepted.
I mean, these might be a bit older, but I could see something like Harry Winston, like really celebrated watchmakers who made some cool stuff. They're beaten down right now. I don't know if they're a little too old for this game, but
That's a great answer.
I could see that turning into something really desirable in the future, like 10, 20 years from now.
Yeah.
Neff saying the Tonda 1950 will go up. I cannot imagine the white gold PT micro rotor for less than 5 or 6. Chess saying don't sleep on Brew. Rick doesn't think Parmigiani will survive.
Maybe like an Armin Strom. I don't know. They seem to be kind of doing some things better now recently. They make some really nice stuff too.
Hobby Bobby saying Laurent Ferrier, but those prices are still pretty high.
Yeah. I think with respect to Parmigiani, it'll survive as long as Michel Parmigiani survives. I think that Sandoz will continue to sink money into it as long as he's around. But I think once he's out, that might be it for the brand.
Yeah.
Like,
but then
very similar, like Speak Moran. It's like once the eponymous maker's out, it's out. That's it. There's no value left in Parmigiani. Because I know that, like, well, not that I know, but like it seems like they believe in the man. They don't really believe in the brand. They believe in the man. And the whole thing is, the whole brand is predicated on the fact that, like, they knew him personally and all that. And will they continue to sink money into a sinking brand? So, do I think that it'll go under in the next 10 years? Probably not. But once Michel Parmigiani's gone, I think that's it.
But then will Parmigiani?
They'll have to find an angel investor, probably.
Yeah,
right.
but will they be sought after? Is what you're wondering.
Yeah. So will the Parmigiani era watches, when he was in charge or involved, would they go, even though maybe the brand itself dies away, but those watches, do they become significantly more desirable?
I think the ones that have like a
Roger Dupuis.
I have a highly yes.
Yep.
Some of the in-house ones may not, right? Because he E-Bosch's and El Primeros and all that with before at the start, and then so it's hard to say.
Howard saying the early pre-Vunlan and UJs from the era of Derek Pratt's involvement will be coveted in the future. In his
yeah, for sure.
Hey, Chris.
They're already probably ridiculous, aren't they? Anything Derek Pratt must be silly. Aren't they selling like the Derek Pratt movements with like Shapiro dials for like $160,000 or something?
Hmm. I'm not sure. Frank Muller. I just don't know if there's any. And I like Frank Muller. I just don't see
Yeah, yeah. There's a reason the
1997.
brand died.
Yeah. Paul's saying there are also serious point of origin. I just saw Breguet hands on a bunch of dandy watches.
Do we know? Like I've heard a lot of people talk about Parmigiani maybe not making it. Do we know how well like they make parts for many other companies? What percentage like how well that business is doing? Parmigiani's making
Mhm.
movement components,
Right.
screws,
Yeah.
hairsprings. I'm not sure about cases, but they make lots of stuff that gets used by other companies.
Yes, they do.
Javi Vibe is saying maybe Piaget, maybe Chopard, right?
There's like zero buzz about Piaget, even though they
I know they
can
make
make some
everything.
incredible things,
I
but
know
nobody cares about Piaget.
they make beautiful watches with birds, and so does Jacques Droz. I like it. I like
I'm
the
calling a
animals.
bird anything with a bird's coming back.
That's
Yeah.
what we're looking for, right? Something that has zero buzz. I
Yeah.
think right now in the current environment, it's like any early independent is it seems like any independent that's not super hyped. You can get Sarpanevas for good money these days. Could they have potential?
Hey
I mean,
Kevin,
that's
thank you so
more
much.
art.
Appreciate
That's
it.
more art than
Yeah.
I don't know. I Tim Mosso's gotten to me. I feel like the Schwartz ATN
Hmm.
Roma with the Voodoo and dial and movement finishing and everything. People are probably sleeping on that. It's like 30 grand, and you're basically getting like the equivalent of a Voodoo and almost not the Voodoo and movement, but you're getting a very good movement with very good finishing. You're getting a Voodoo and dial, and it's 30 grand instead of 90. Probably sleeping on that.
Fast Wong is saying Arnold and Son is a group brand pretending to be. I mean, Arnold and Son. What am I making them German? Pretending to be an indie. Don't fall for it. Yeah, Double Eagle from Jacques Draw. Very, very awesome. Yeah, just one of these days when maybe Daniel Roth.
Rick's saying SE prices have jumped a bit. I can buy one in Watchbox right now for $29,950. I can hit buy if I really want. I don't know. Everything's inflated right now.
Yeah.
It's really tough to find. I feel like I should take my own advice and buy a Harry Winston maybe. This one's pretty cool. $14,000.
Steve's saying Maurice Lacroix is super hyper toxic and has no buzz around it.
Yeah, it's gonna stay that way. In my humble opinion.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, if if there's an end in sight, with all this, because I kind of feel like sitting on the sidelines for a while. Although at the same time, I also have an urge to buy, but because of fear of missing out, but because there's a lot of cool watches out there, and you can still find some deals, but I just like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You can join me on the sidelines, Rob.
Yeah,
I'm definitely on the sidelines.
yeah, but you've been kind of sort of on the sidelines for a while. I mean, you definitely do not at this point buy watches at a pace that some of us have. And I don't know if, I mean, we never had this discussion. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if earlier on you're buying at a frantic pace like most of us, but with the affordable stuff, because I know we all get our start with the affordable stuff at first. But I feel like your pen hobby has definitely taken a lot of
Yeah.
the oxygen out of the room for the watch hobby, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine.
I've got a couple in order, but I mean, until those come in, I think I'm on the sidelines.
For the pens as
Watches,
Yeah.
right?
Watches.
well. Oh, you got a couple watches in order. Okay.
He's always got.
Well, I've
pens
got
in
a couple
order.
of watches that I'm waiting on that I haven't paid money for though. So
Oh, right. The Ed White being one of them, right? I think. Yeah.
The only other one, and I keep talking about high end stuff, but like I could see Urwerk just take off ridiculous, maybe,
Mhm.
but it could also tank. So I don't
Yeah.
know. But
I honestly don't see downside with Urwerk where they are right now though. At this entry point.
not right now, no. But if there's some sort of macroeconomic change, I could see it changing. Like that's
mean,
gonna be the first kind of watch people are like, yeah, I don't need that.
Yeah. I mean, you could be screwed if you bought it on the way up, like as it crested, or you bought it at the top. That's where you'd probably get screwed. But right now, I think it's pretty safe.
But people are really getting into like the uber complicated, really futuristic looking, the MBM Nefs, the Urwerks, that kind of watch, just like that UN that we looked at earlier. Like it's kind of futuristic looking, right?
Yeah.
People are starting to really get into that. Big domed sapphires with 3D movements and all that cool stuff, right? Like people are really into it, and I think that trend will continue. We'll see, but
Well, in that vein, Clayton's asking, will the HYT reboot take off or
I
fall
will
even
state the
further?
reputation of Mad Money Financial that it will fall flat on its face.
Yeah.
Who took up a stake in that anyway? I saw it, but I didn't really pay attention that closely.
I do not know. How's the knife game, Bobby? It's kind of cooled off. Because I have like 20 something knives in the house, you know what I mean? But I got some cool ones. I want to add a Hinder back to the collection. And maybe a Chris Reeve. Those are cool knives, really high-end knives, very, very cool. Underachieving watch collector, with almost all watches being hyped and getting expensive, will Hodinkee be out of a job? I don't think so. Hodinkee's kind of like the flagship for online watch, media, right? They're not going to go anywhere.
They've moved to sales anyway. I mean,
yeah. I think they're pretty ahead with their business model.
Yeah. They're diversified enough to withstand any.
Yeah.
They actually kind of called all this, to tell you the truth. Everyone laughed at them a few years ago, and they're like, discounts are going away. You guys are going to come to our website and buy watches. Full tick.
Rick's saying, I think some non-Nautilus Patek have room to run, maybe trade below retail.
Yeah, some of the annual calendar stuff.
Hobby Lobby, I'm surprised Resonance doesn't do better.
Yeah. I really like what they do, but bit of a one-trick pony.
Vacheron still has good value in models besides the overseas.
Yeah.
Resonance has quality. Quality is an issue for Resonance. Former head of Richemont took the helm at HYT.
I played with the Resonance, and I used to really want a Resonance, but then I played with one, and I was so frustrated just trying to wind it and set it and all that. Like as you wind it, the time was moving, and it was just, I don't know if I was doing it wrong, but it turned me right off of everything.
Chris is saying Patek is going crazy right now. We're buying cautiously. Okay.
It is, yeah.
And again, this brings me back to like Omega, right? And previously having no desire to ever pick up a Speedy. Now that's like pretty much what I'm looking at almost all day is a Speedmaster and the Aqua Terra. Those watches can be gotten, and they're just powerhouses, right? I mean, legendary watches especially with the Speedmaster, and yeah, I mean, possibility. Why not? Like, why not pick up a Speedy, right? And enjoy it, because I can. I don't have to wait
The
for it.
Hasselite's an awesome watch. The 3861 Hasselite's an awesome watch.
Is that the one that's the one you have, right?
Yeah.
At the moment, or yeah.
It's
awesome
an
watch.
honest, like you said, it's a watch you could just buy and enjoy, right? It's just a wholesome, good watch. Nothing too fancy. Marcus says it's really comfortable now with the new bracelet.
Yeah.
You should do it, Yabi.
Hasselite over a Sapphire Sandwich?
I prefer the Hasselite.
I like the Hasselite personally. Yeah.
I think the one thing about the Sapphire Sandwich I like is like the case back, the exhibition case. I like to see it. I'm not a purist when it comes to the Speedmaster. Like, it doesn't matter to me as much. Like, it has to look exactly like the original one they went in space with. But and then the Aqua Terra, like the two-tone of the Sedna Gold, man. I mean, I just love that thing, and I know I could probably get that and get maybe a decent discount on it, and I can get it. So
I'm kind of thinking about a birth year Speedy.
a birth year Speedy. Okay.
Yeah. There's a friend of mine said that there's supposed to be one coming on the market here locally soon, so I'm kind of looking out for it.
I've been thinking about birth year watch again as well. I would also have been thinking about, and I know the prices are getting out of hand. Older day dates.
Like a 36.
Yeah.
I've been looking at those too. Yellow gold, blue dial. Ooh.
Oh, you're looking at yellow gold, blue. I'm yellow gold and more like a champagne.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah.
So, Colin, you're thinking like the lapis style, like the yellow glow gold and like a lapis style? Or
No, not the lapis. Just they have a blue dial. I think like the Dalai Lama has it. Honestly, if you look up the Dalai Lama's day date,
yeah, that's a good looking watch.
It's more like a sunburst blue.
Kind of like 1988 for Colin.
88 what? I'm
Birth
flattered. I'm flattered. Do you think I was born in 88?
Rick is saying my birth year watch is so far back. Watch will
be a pocket watch.
Chris is saying they're a bargain right now, but they've been going up in price. They're easily at least a couple $1,000s more than they were a year or two ago. From my experience looking at it, maybe I'm looking at the wrong places. But the one that Rick has is a beautiful watch. With
That's
that,
a 40 though, isn't it?
No, I think it's a 36. I think it's a 36
on the strap.
This was like new old stock. I don't even know whether they had a 40 when it was a really new old stock. Like,
oh really? I thought it was a bigger one. He can correct us.
Yeah. Well, guys,
36.
we made it.
You're right. 36.
We made it to 10, just over past 10.
Amin's watch shopping, I can tell.
He totally is. he checked out like about a half hour ago. And
he's looking at watches. He's trying to find bargains.
I'm checking every once in a while. I would go Sapphire Sandwich.
Once we start talking about resale, Amin is out.
Yeah.
You guys, I'll show you what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Before we close up.
I hope it's really toxic.
So I'm doing this configurator in Oxen Jr.
Oh, I was doing that earlier.
And even though some of their watches are really plain, I think that some of their stuff, this is a perpetual calendar on the TikToking website that got me kind of looking at it.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Configurator at Oxen.
Don't buy that color.
Don't buy that.
Don't buy that watch. Oh.
Yeah. Didn't Joe have the perpetual calendar
for like a week?
Yeah. Even Joe couldn't tolerate the toxicity of that.
It was I think too big for his wrist, or do you think that
Yeah,
was
it
he
was
was
too
just
big.
saying that?
I think I was just saying that.
But they have some other ones now, like less complicated. I was looking at that Celtimano one, I guess it's called. Go shop.
Yeah.
Go shop.
Yeah.
That's just a
OJ
day, right?
Choice.
That's just a day.
It's just like a day. Celtimano Raw. Go to Celtimano Raw. Yeah. I was looking at that. It's just like that's your day and time. That's it. Each dot is the day of the week. But
Mm.
it's 39 millimeters, so it's at least wearable. Titanium. And it's like $2,200. At least you're not dropping 13K on it, you know?
Annual calendar for 8K, but then when I put in my options, it's pretty. This is
Yeah.
so this is the day of the month. That's the month. This is the day of the week, and then time.
I just picture the problem is you're just gonna be like counting the dots, like, oh, what day is it? 1, 2, 3, 4,
But
5,
once
6,
you
7,
get
8, 9.
used to it, right? I'm sure it's not that bad, right? This is 31, so that's 30, so this is 15, right? Press buy now. This is to me too plain, but I feel like in the configurator you could design something that's pretty sweet.
Something totally unsellable.
I mean, just put the mouse away and put your credit card away.
Sterling
Yeah.
silver. This is where I was going with this.
Oh, yeah.
Slowly walk away.
Killing the
computer.
resale
You
value.
need to
Real
walk
good.
away.
It's a lot of extras.
Where's
All the
Marshmallow when we
extras.
need her?
400 Swiss francs there.
400
Another
for
400 for that.
For each hand?
Well, if you're picking gold,
Paint by number.
Gold
Nefis
beef everywhere.
saying, I hope your CC rejects that.
all right.
Poo Knife
Poo
by
knife.
Dan.
I like sites that have configurators for watches, certain watches. I don't end up buying, but I like playing with them.
Yeah.
Joe can paint them much cheaper.
That's true. Hobby Bobby saying, if you get that watch, I want you to tell me my horoscope.
Oh man.
All right. It's going to bed. Okay, guys.
Fun.
We had a great chat tonight, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Marcus, awesome cold open. You're more than welcome to do it anytime you want. I gotta do a little intro for you. I got one for Amin. I gotta work on one for you and Colin for sure. Colin, great seeing you again. Hopefully all your Instagrams are doing really well. Amin, what do you got going on this week? You guys anything coming out?
I got
Reviews, anything?
some unboxing, some reviews, you know, the usual.
So nothing.
New video every time I think of it.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, chat. Thank you so much for participating. Guys, thank you for joining in the panel, and have a great night to all. Take care.
Good night, guys.